Right, here you have us at Cuddington Golf Club. We're just going to go out and try and shoot the course record 2-ball scramble. Ross Fisher, legend son. How are you?
I'm good. You? Happy New Year.
All good, yeah. Happy New Year. First of all, the bag.
Yeah.
I want a bit of detail here off you.
Yeah.
We're going to start top of the bag. What you got for me? What you got?
We have got, well, since you guys last saw me, new driver.
Okay.
So we've gone from TaylorMade to the Cobra.
You've always been a TaylorMade boy since I've known you.
For years, yeah. But,
okay, why this?
This was in the bag for a tournament at the start of the year, Dubai Desert Classic, but as you can see, the way I've set it up, it's quite toe biased, so I hate seeing it go left.
Which is 12 gram
12 gram in the toe, 3 in the heel.
Oh, 3 in the heel, right. What does that help you with then?
So it means I can go at it as hard as I want, knowing that it's not going to go left, and my misses will be right, which is in play, but unfortunately if you're not swinging it quite as quick, the rights tend to go quite a long way right, so I struggled a bit in Dubai, so put it in the loft and went back to the TaylorMade, but brought it out. So this actually is set on 9, but 1 degree lower. You know, still hit it pretty high.
Do you ever mess about while we're on this? Do you ever mess about lie angles with drivers?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what's this? Is this quite an upright driver? When I picked it up, I like mine really upright, see, and I've just noticed this is.
You know what? I'd have to ask Matt from Cobra because he's got my specs. I would say a little bit upright.
Okay. Right.
But yeah, really solid driver.
And the shaft?
Shaft, I've used that for a few years now.
Little Tensai AV series.
Gone from the orange to the
65
silver.
5 Torex Flex, right?
So
okay.
Yeah, it's reasonably stiff.
Yeah, it's pokerish, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay. And lengthwise, do you have it any longer or not?
As long as it can be.
I know a lot of the long boys.
A few years ago, I used a 47-inch Titleist. Just so I wanted to try everything, and that was the one I went away from Titleist with, and it was ridiculous.
And what's this?
This will be just under whatever the legal limit is.
Oh, really? You have it well long? Right, okay.
Try and get it as long as possible, but within the legal limit, because if you change the lie angle, it can potentially change the length.
Got you. Okay. So that'll be 46 and a half, something like that.
I'll leave that up to the technicians.
Yeah. 3-wood, what we got?
3-wood, we've got, I think it's the same as last time, so I've got a little Shrixon in the bag.
Oh no, this is different.
Put that in the bag, I want to say...
15 degree.
I think it was Belgium this year. I like the look of them. And 3-woods are always, I find, quite a hard club to find because you want it to be good off the tee, easy to hit off the fairway and go the right distance. And I've always struggled, as you know, you've played with me a bit, finding 3-woods that go the right distance. I've had some that have been good but go too far.
Yes.
And you're like, if there's a bunker...
too knuckly and you want to...
if there's a bunker at 280, you want, well, driver's going to go in, so you want 3-wood to come up short.
Nicely.
So, the guys, Jason at Shrixon built me that one up, and that's been in the bag ever since middle of this year. Middle of last year, sorry.
Right, okay, so you've had it in a fair bit.
Yeah, a fair bit.
Tensai shafty, and you love these shafts,
I've used the orange for quite a while. They just seem to suit how I swing it.
Softer? Bit of that, or is it stiffer than the white? What's the script?
I would say it's more counterbalance.
Okay,
maybe a little bit stronger.
Okay.
But in a fairway wood, you want it quite stable.
Yeah.
I'd say. And then either on the golf course that we play, I'll either be 2-iron or 5-wood. And I've still got the old
little stealth 19 degree. There. Look at that little pup.
There's not been many 5-woods that I've actually hit that go better than that. So it's a really good club.
What's you fly that? 240?
This is 255, 260.
Lovely.
So it's quite strong.
Yep.
But it's
you've got to get your gap in right.
It's the gap-ins from the irons up to the woods.
Yeah.
So I don't want. There's going to be a gap somewhere.
Yep.
So yeah, 5-woods.
Okay.
Strong.
That's your woods.
Yep.
Straight into your irons. Starting with low iron. I see you got a little tiny.
Yeah, this is quite new.
P790. Go on, talk to me through this.
Put this in the bag in one of the tournaments in Spain. I was struggling with my Mizuno iron to get the distance.
Really? When I played it, it's like.
Yeah, it was high. It was the same one we played with, but it was high. But I was struggling to get my number. And the TaylorMade guys built me one of these up, and it was actually getting to my number, if not further. And he said, I'd rather your 4-iron go a little bit too far, so it's closer to your 5-wood. But you can manipulate shots to take yardage off it.
So you've got the power there.
So now this will go more like 235, 238.
Yeah.
So it's a strong 4-iron, but I like it, and it's looks good, easy to hit.
238 4-iron, I'm ruining it.
7 with you,
yeah? Well, if I'm lucky.
So yeah, that's the 4-iron. And then the irons are the same. 5-iron to 9-iron in the Mizunos. Love the Mizunos. Put these back in start of this season, last season, sorry. JPX 923 Tours. Did a lot of work with Al at the truck, and he's come to Wisley. I've gone to see him at Bearwood and got him really dialed in, and I've gone from being a relatively good greens in regulation to last season I was 1-2 all season long, and I just got pipped, finished second. So
with these irons, you're not changing them, are you?
No.
I've been around Mizuno the last couple of weeks.
Very underrated. Very underrated Mizuno.
So good,
I would
these
say.
aren't they?
You know, everyone
so
talks about your Titleist, your TaylorMade, your Callaways.
Oh mate, some of the best iron makers
have been around
they?
For a long, long time.
Little fish in the corner. Look at that. Look at that. Lovely.
Got to get a bit of stamping,
detail.
bit of detail.
And then right, go on into your wedges. You don't play with a pitching wedge in this,
no.
And you've gone straight to a 46 Vokey.
No, I just prefer
Vokey, yeah.
I just prefer all the wedges to be like the same.
Okay.
I found the wedge in the set almost goes too far.
Right.
But again, I've had these lofts built to how far I want the ball to go. So for me, a pitching wedge, I want this to go 140.
Okay.
So this is actually more like 45.5.
Yes. Got you.
Because my 9-iron is.
Wow, you are on your precise.
Yeah. So 9-iron for me is 155. This one will go 140.
Right. Okay. Wedge. Yep,
and then I go to gap wedge, which is actually 51. So this will go 125.
Yep.
And then I've actually gone. Some people prefer to go more lofted and bend it. I didn't like the look of it. I didn't like the offset. So this is a 54 head, but it's actually bent to 55, but you don't see too much offset. Whereas if you go a 56,
right, is that manipulate it? Right,
55,
okay. So you've gone 46, 50, 55, 62. You've got the little jammer. Show them that fish.
So that's a 62 with nice bit of stamping on there.
This is, and explain again for the ones that didn't see the one before. Why did you go to a 62 from a 60?
So I actually had a 58 bent to 59 for yardages, but I just struggled with shots around the green, and my short game really let me down. So my caddy actually said to me, "Why don't you go and speak to the Titleist boys? Go and spend a day with Will. Say, right, I want to try everything out and find out what's the best club for you around the greens." So we actually tried 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, and this one came out the best.
You said to me you could be more aggressive at the ball.
Be more aggressive. Obviously, I lose a lot of distance because a full one of these is only going to go 80 yards. So when Does that matter though? Well, no, because now I've got the 55 and I can grip down it, play soft shots with that. So I'd rather sacrifice being able to hit this closer to my sandwich because I'm gaining so much more around the greens. I can be aggressive to pins. If I short side myself, it doesn't matter because I've got 62 degrees aloft. I can open it up and it's more like a 75, 80.
Proper.
So it's just helps me a lot.
And while I'm on the irons, you didn't talk to me shaft-wise.
Shaft-wise, always been X1s.
You've always been a dynamic gold X100.
Yeah, since I was 14, 15, always X1s. Okay. I've dabbled with different shafts.
And with wedges, does that go into that?
So wedges, I believe, I'm an X1 in the pitching wedge and the gap wedge because they're more fuller shots.
Yes.
But then with the sand wedge and the lob wedge,
S3s.
These will be, I believe, S4s because you can probably see the stepping.
Different.
So you see the slightly different, I don't know if you can get that on camera. So these are the 4 wedges. So you can see the difference.
Stepping's different.
So the stepping, the first step is here on the sand wedge and the lob wedge. They're softer. They're a little bit higher on the pitch wedge and the gap wedge because they're fuller shots.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They're more likely to be full shots.
Okay.
Whereas the other 2, they're more half shots or shots around the green. So you want a little bit softer so you get a bit more feel.
Love it. Right, flat stick.
The flat stick.
You was trying to sell your Scotty Cameron to me last time you was at the Wisley Greens.
No. I would never sell my Scotty Cameron. But
you was trying to say get on one, and now I see you've gone to this.
Well, I've tinkered around with a lot. Tried the Spider a few times, and then Seamus at Callaway kindly came and spent a morning with me up at Wisley. He brought a load of different heads, and this was the one for me that looked good. He's given me a couple more like this, so he's done me one exactly the same with nothing on.
Right.
And one with a line on.
What do you prefer?
I actually prefer this because, funnily enough, I started doing some work with Paul up here, and he said the line is almost too much because it's trying to make you feel too perfect.
Yes.
With nothing on, there's no reference point, whereas here you've got 3 dots, so you've got a marginal reference point, but it's not too much.
The detail's phenomenal.
You know, and I've gone quite heavy in this because the first time I used this.
I was going to say, when I picked that up, that's unbelievable. So it's long.
I think they're 20-gram weights. Because the first time I used it was at the Dunhill Links.
Okay.
So the following week was going to go to quicker greens. So Seamus said, come on to the truck. We'll change the weights because you won't need it as heavy. But I actually like the feel of the heavy putter. because it doesn't feel like I've got to bash the ball. So, but yeah, it's gone a little shorter than what I used to be. I used to be 47, so this is now about 46.
Right, okay.
So I just feel like I'm in slightly better posture. So
nice.
That's the
Well, that's a bag, lad. Yeah. Any little gizmicks you carry around with you?
No.
No. What ball do you play with?
Ball, Pro V1X left dash.
Left dash. What's the difference?
So,
see, I love all this.
Here you go. So that's the Pro V1 left dash. So this is, I just went to Titleist a couple of years ago and I said, I want the ball that goes the longest and spins the least. That one. And yeah, you keep that one. Cheers. Might need it after today.
Yeah, lovely.
But yeah, they said this is the ball that goes the longest and the furthest, but doesn't spin as much because I don't struggle with spin. So for a Pro V1X normal, I'd spin it too much.
Yep.
So I'd have to recalibrate all my irons, lofts and everything.
I love it.
This worked out really, really well. So use this ball for a while.
They've done well for you so far, haven't they?
It's done all right.
Let's go and do the business.
Let's do it. Let's crack on.